My name's Morgan. In 2016, my dad was elected to Vienna City Council based on a single issue: cleaning up the abandoned Johns Manville plant. Since the plant closed its doors in 2002, it has slowly deteriorated from being a central part of Vienna to one of its most pressing issues. In 2012, a company named Structures Resources Inc. began an effort to clean up the facility. They didn't get very far. The company submitted a voluntary remediation application to the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection and demolished many of the structures, but ultimately left the plant in worse shape than when they started, with large piles of debris and scrap littered throughout the facility. This was the mess that the city of Vienna would inherit, and the mess that we have been working diligently to clean up for the last year and a half. In early 2017, the city began their concentrated efforts to remediate the property, working closely with the West Virginia DEP and a few select outside agencies to ensure that the process was handled safely and efficiently. We've documented much of the cleanup effort, which has gone very smoothly, is on track to finish on schedule and under budget. On May 30th, 2017, 3 weeks into the cleanup, Jim stopped in and spoke with the employees of Jimmy Harper Construction about the obstacles faced and challenges to overcome.
Here with Gary Fields of Jimmy Harper Construction. Gary, why don't you go and tell me a little bit about a typical day for you?
Well, it's a matter of going the same way and back or forward there about 6 times a day and hauling out as much of this stuff as we can get out and making it a cleanup job that makes it good for the city.
We returned on August 5th to chat with Tom Rebar of Compliance Management Inc. about the status of the cleanup.
Tom is the licensed remediation specialist for the Manville project. He came on board when I came on board with the city of Vienna. So go ahead and take us forward. So now that the Manville site is largely clear of all the debris piles, what is it we do from here?
Well, from here, once we get the approval of the work plan for the DEP, we will be out here to do probably about 4 days of site assessment, which will involve soil borings and water well installation to sample soil and groundwater and evaluate potential vapor intrusion issues, and basically gather data to the standards of the voluntary program to use the risk assessment for this project. I think it looks great, and I've been working locally for the last 20 years, and know it's at my eye on this project. I think it's wonderful to see the changes in the last 2 months. It just looks great.
All right. Well, Tom, we appreciate you coming out today. I thank you. We look forward to the rest of your work to get this place done, finished, and ready for development. So thanks again. Thank you.
By March 29, 2018, the cleanup had progressed nicely, and All Probe Environmental was brought in to drill for groundwater samples.
I think the last time we met and talked was in the middle of the debris pile cleanup with Jimmy Harper Construction. Since then, there's been a lot of planning and also now execution of getting the Manville site testing begun. So Tom, why don't you go ahead and tell us what's been going on since we talked last?
Well, since we talked last, we got the proposals in and approved by council and put into the budget, and we've been here now. This is day 12 of about 15 or 16 of on-site testing and sampling activities. And today we are finishing the last 2 of 7 monitoring wells, and there are 5 on the top northern half of the parcel. Those are 44 to 48 feet deep, and the depth of water up there is 35 feet. And there's going to be 2 right behind us here. They'll be about 28 feet deep with a depth of water of about 20 feet. At 49 locations now, we've done either shallow or shallow and deep subsurface and surface soil sampling, and that's all done. We're now just installing, developing new monitoring wells, and then I'll come back in a week and a half and take groundwater samples. We are currently on or ahead of schedule with every task that's in the remediation agreement.
That's great. All right, Tom, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
This brings us to today. The Manville project has been a hugely successful effort set to wrap up in 2019. With it will come substantial and exciting growth possibilities for the city of Vienna. Opportunities that will strengthen our economy and ensure Vienna's position as one of the best cities in West Virginia. We look forward to collaborating with the citizens of Vienna to continue the development of the Riverside property for recreational enjoyment. Earlier today, Tom gave us an update on where we stand and what steps we have next to take.
Good evening, members of council and residents of the city of Vienna. My name is Thomas Rebar of Compliance Management International, the LRS, on the Johns Manville project for the city. Jim Leach has asked me to provide an update on the status of the project. It is August 9th, 2018 today. Where we're at on the riverside and the production side is as follows. The riverside, we have submitted the risk assessment report, which is being reviewed by the DEP and is very close to approval. The next step there will be to prepare and submit a remedial action plan for some soil cover that we're going to need to do over there. And the results of the comments back and forth with the DEP on the risk assessment were that we're expecting approval with no problems, and to move into the remediation and soil cover phase very quickly and on schedule. We expect to be able to move a couple areas of soil over there and place some cover and some grass seed and eliminate the exposure pathway for the only constituents of concern that are over there, and get that place, that property ready for residential use in the very near future. Now, the production side, we have completed the site assessment, which includes both the soil and groundwater sampling, surface soil, subsurface soil, and groundwater from 7 monitoring wells that we installed over there. The analytical reports are in from that sampling, and the results are very encouraging. There are very few contaminants showing up in detectable levels, and those are at low levels that we definitely should be able to pass through the risk assessment with those without any problem. So the plan on that side is that we will submit the analytical data to the data validator, which is already in process, and we get that back. We submit all that to the risk assessor, who prepares a risk assessment report. And like I said, based on what we're seeing, I anticipate no problems having that risk assessment report approved by the DEP upon submittal. And then that site we will be able to move through on schedule and on budget to being ready for commercial use in the very near future. On the riverside, I see no reason that we won't be able to have the site approved for recreational use, which includes modified residential standards in the very near future and on schedule. And the production side is a great site for commercial use. I see no problem with having DEP approval for that site, that side of the site, to be used that way in the very near future. Since I've been involved with this project about a year and 3 months or so now, everything's proceeded on schedule, on budget, and the city's been great to work with. The new DEP connections have been great to work with, and it's just it's very encouraging to see the project progress, and I'm looking forward to wrapping it up and putting these two sites back to productive use in the very near future.
With this in mind, we're ready to continue, forging ahead into 2019 to finish Team Vienna's overwhelming effort and teamwork to lay to rest one of Vienna's greatest cultural icons and to begin building its next one. Go Team Vienna!
For the last 2 days I've been here purging and sampling the 7 existing monitoring wells here on the production side site. We're now done with both the soil and the groundwater part of the site assessment here on the production side. This round, as with the last round, I was very pleased to see that there was no visual or detectable in the field indications of contamination in the water. With the riverside, we are currently preparing a remedial action work plan, which will detail our plan for soil capping and moving a little bit of the contaminated soil near the surface over there in order to consolidate all the contaminated material in one location and then cap it with clean soil and plant grass and make a
And my understanding is, in fact, that with the public comment process that we're going through, we will actually be at a residential standard. Am I saying that correctly?
That is the plan, yes. We are proposing to use a risk threshold of 10 to the minus fifth instead of 10 to the minus sixth when doing the risk calculations. And what that will do is basically, assuming it gets through, which I expect it will allow the site to be used for recreational purposes, which basically meet a residential standard as far as the regulations go.
This is going to be a safe, clean site for the citizens of Vienna to use for recreational purposes on the beautiful Ohio River. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely.
All right, great. All right. I'm here with Kevin Parrish, who is Vienna Code Enforcement Officer, and he's designated as liaison for the reclaim operations to finish up the removal of the structures at the Manville site. I'm here with Leif Kunkel with Reclaim, and he's going to give us a little bit of update on their progress. So, as you've watched Reclaim move through this massive amount of steel behind us, tell us a little bit about how they've been doing.
Well, I think they've done a fantastic job. The structure has come down way quicker than I anticipated it would, and there have been no major problems or delays.
Great. Well, Leif, again, you're with Reclaim. Thanks for coming down and talking to us a little bit this morning. So we're here trying to finish up the same thing, the removal of the remaining structures at the Johns Manville production side. Tell us a little bit about the scope of this project and where you are in the process and when you expect this to be completed.
The overall scope here was asbestos abatement and structure demolition down to the existing slab grid. We're not removing any concrete slab. We're done with the removal of the transite siding, the asbestos siding, and there's a little bit more asbestos abatement to be done, but other than that, it's just the completion of the demolition of the structure. Within the next 2 months, I'd anticipate we'll be done. We want to be wrapped up before winter time, which is well ahead of our 180-day completion goal.
All right, so our budget is fixed.
Yes.
Your time frame is on schedule, and in fact, you're anticipating being done ahead of schedule, correct?
Absolutely.
So, Leif, we appreciate all your work. And Kevin, same thing. Thanks for coming out and talking to us this morning. Citizens of Vienna, as you can see when you drive by, you've seen tremendous progress occur over the last since just July. And so, obviously, anytime you want to take a drive by and see the progress, it's pretty easy to observe. So, thanks again, guys. We'll wrap this up and enjoy your days.